Alright, welcome back to another league race, this time with TTML for round number 3 of the season here at the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. Ugh, do not enjoy this track at all. So it is literally damage limitation here today, basically. So I can at least be thankful for a dry qualifying and dry race. The only thing I was really worried about that could make this even worse would be a wet version of this. But anyways, we're going to load the setup. You can see I don't think I've ever raced a 50%. I've raced one 50% race around China in FTRL, and I can't remember how that ended. I'm going to guess very averagely. Yeah, there's a setup. Basically, it's just standard, really. It's just, again, we're just looking to limit the damage here. I didn't get to go for a lap here until like right at the end because I was trying to run on like a headless chicken, like trying to get stuff sorted for as div admin. Like it's just trying to get people sorted and all this shite. Like, and I need to stop that, man, because once we're in the session, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be
40.4.
Look at that, like 3 minutes to go. Like, is where I'm really getting to check everything. I haven't even gone out. I've only driven out to set a lap time. I haven't gone out at all. So I don't know. I need to do less of that. Once we're in the session, like, it's no longer my concern. You know, we're going. Anyways, end of qualifying. I did this lap intentionally like 75% because I wanted to get as close to 11 players as we could, and that is exactly what I did. Now, this ended up being P12, so not P11, but that was pretty much where I wanted to be, because if I wanted to try and at least, you know, do the alternate strategy at least. So I do mediums to hards rather than soft to hard, so give myself an advantage that way. So we're quite far down the pecking order, but hopefully we can time this well and have an advantage over everyone in front on the newer, fresher, hard tires for later in the race. Now, obviously, some people further forward will have track position, and that advantage will stay with them. But you know, this is the best I can really hope for here, because I won't be able to do it on raw pace because I'm just not quick enough here. Anyways, here we go. 5 red lights. And away we go. Immediately jump Joker, who didn't really react off the line there. So that's one position gained. Got Langfell on my inside there. He's got a really good start. So the outside line opens up. We're going to go round it. And basically now we're going to just settle in. Basically, now we have a nice line around the outside. You can just settle in there. Always into the back of Kiki there. But we're just going to make it through again. This is one of the tougher traction zones, one of many. So nice and easy out. No one alongside us. Very nice. The overtake down towards, I think it's turn 6. Gap opens up on the inside line, so I'm going to try and take it down the inside of Langfell, and Kiki's right there as well, but Langfell gets a better run. I lost the back end slightly there. Langfell gets a better run out of that corner. So on the inside line, I'm going to have to yield that one. So we move on. I'm going to fast forward later this lap, basically, as Langfell and so Langfell's now the highest runner on mediums, and then I'm next. So that's where we're at. I thought Vlaras was going to have a go down the inside there, but Oko Benzrice did not get a very good run hitting out of that snail section there. So a bit of a herky-jerky stuff there, but anyways, I'm going to commit to this racing line. He's going to have the inside line. I thought I'd just try and go later on the brakes rather than to brake early and go for a switchback. But leaving the space on the inside regardless. Now we're going to have the bear exit now, and boom. That is job done. So we're up into P11 then. So not too bad of an opening lap. Now we can just try and settle into things now. So yeah, happy with how that lap went, and now we can just settle in on these mediums, get them going, and see how everything unfolds in front. Lap number 4, people start to pit from their soft compound tires already. It's a long way to go. This is what the advantage that I'm hoping for is, that some of these guys pitting on softs. It's very, very early to be pitting from softs. For hards to go to the end of the race. So this is where the mediums will come into an advantage. Lap 5, Kiki's he's got a 3-second penalty, but his softs are beginning to go now. So I'm going to try and get this moved on. Langfell's 1.3 seconds up in front, so I need to try and stick with Langfell if possible. And Kiki does not bother fighting this one. He's going to just let me go down the inside there and take that move. So down the inside. Always a heavy braking zone. This always tough to approximate, but yeah, get that move done. And more people now are going to file into the pits. Lap 5, 6, 7-ish now as the soft runners now come in. Kiki there behind as well. Jane is in now as well. So yeah, now it's just nice clear track. And these guys on soft are going to kind of, again, come into each other basically. Lap 6, more people come into the pits. What ended up happening in this race is, it reminded me of a race that I did a while ago, maybe even last game even, in Baku, where we went long. And then the guys who had to pit first basically ended up having incidents with themselves. So by the time we pitted, we were kind of clear of all this. Jabu is next, and Jabu has a loss of back end. swerve to avoid that. But now we've begin to catch up here to Langfell now. So I have to say that the latter part of this medium stint, I was much more comfortable, much quicker than Langfell was. So Langfell was struggling a bit. I was really happy on these mediums. So lap 10. If I'd full sent this, I think I could have gone for this move. I decided to go into standard early to save some fuel. Didn't go into overtake. Maybe I could have caught Langfell for an overtake here, but again, I didn't really feel that was really on. If I did feel it was on, and really felt it was on, I would have gone for it, but I didn't feel that was on. And I thought, look, I'm happy to just sit behind him, save some fuel, save some ERS, and have him drag me along with his DRS as well. So, you know, and then hopefully we'll get him, you know, either on the hard stop, on the hards, or, as I'm going to try and do right now, I'm going to go for an undercut. I'm going to go for an undercut and see if I can jump Langfell that way. So I was like, please don't pit, because the pit window was lap 13 basically. I went, nope, he stays out, and it's like, perfect, I've got a really good chance here. All I had to hope for was not to emerge in traffic basically. So in we come. Again, it's worked out quite nicely. Again, the tyres are fine. Could have gone a few laps longer, but I wanted to try and get this undercut done and see how he got on. Decent stop from the boys. Of course, it's the same time for everyone, so I'm not sure what the story is, but I was hoping, there's a little group coming in front there on this main straight there. I was hoping maybe I could clear them, or at least they'd emerge like 4 or 5 seconds ahead. Not the case, and I'm right behind 3 cars, which is CVG, Atlas Scopo, and Nelly. So I was like, oh no, and I'm right behind. I was like, oh, this is really bad. So we're going to stay on board for these this next few laps or so, as you're going to see how I catch these guys up. And like Atlas Scopo's on mediums, Nelly's on hards, and they're old hards, like they're older hards than I certainly have. Like obviously, you look at this, like lap 13. Some people are on their hards almost 10 laps now. So, you know, this is the advantage that we're hoping to have. And it might not be as apparent out of the box, but now at this point, I'm like, oh no, now I'm losing time in the turbulent air, and I haven't obviously get on the brakes earlier and not be able to pick up the throttle as much. So, and the problem is, I can't just get by here because these guys are all DRSing each other, basically, with Stevie G at the top there. You know, these guys are all DRSing off of that, so I'm not going to be able to get by these guys on main straight unless I get a really good run. And with how I'm just reluctant to get on the throttle here because it's just I struggle for traction on this track. Like it's a heavy traction track, and your confidence does be. You don't want to, like, the last thing you want to do is light it up, like so. Anyways, I'm nowhere near. My teammate Pitts, he had a very good first stint, to be fair, having started from the back. And now Langfell's in the pits as well. So I'm like, oh no, I don't think this is going to work out. So, yeah, here we go. I'm going to see, though. Again, DRS will help, but I don't think it's going to make up for the time that I've lost, really, on the through that section. Anyways, coming across the line, lap 14. There is Langfell. He's going to appear right beside his teammate, right beside Nelly. He's got the inside line, which is massively going to help him. Atlas Scopo decides to bail out the way, and Langfell is critically through, and the car in front of him has not got DRS. So I need to get this move done. So I'm going to use overtake. I'm going to use Rich. I have to lunge here into turn 6. I have to do it. So he goes defensive. I'm going to go Ricardo this shit anyways. Helmut is fishing as well. Alongside, I thought maybe I might out-traction him on this part, but the back end just wanted to get away a bit there. Very close to contact there. And yeah, I'm stuck now behind Nelly still. And I thought, okay, hopefully Langfell can clear a second, maybe, hopefully. And I can at least then take advantage of the fact that Nelly doesn't have DRS. And I thought maybe that we might be good here, but I think Nelly's going to have DRS heading down the straight. Obviously, Langfell's right there with Stevie G, which is another car I have to negotiate. But first, I've got to get past this Haas and get a good run here, heading out of the snail section. And I think, if I remember correctly, it's almost been a week now, I think he has DRS. And I actually can't see. I don't think he does, actually. But he had enough straight line speed and went for more than one movement across on that straight there. It was definitely more than one move. You're one allowed move, you're allowed to go, and then back onto the racing line. That was definitely more than one. So I was quite annoyed about this at the time because I'm dying here in terms of trying to get by and finally get a better run out of the last corner. And I'm like, I'm going to send this, and we finally get by. The problem is, though, now Langfell's almost 2 seconds up the road, and he's dispatched TVG as well. So I've lost 2 seconds basically to Langfell in all that, as well as obviously not being able to undercut him properly. So yeah, it was worth the gamble, but sadly just the wrong place at the wrong time. Lap 15, so later that lap, Stevie G then, who I think is actually going to bail onto a 2-stop eventually. So he pitted very early this DVG, and he's going to he's feeling the pain on those tires, but he just decides not to fight this one. So I always appreciate that. And yeah, move up into P7. So all of a sudden here, it's a very quiet looking P7. Like again, like I wasn't running 7th really when, you know, before everyone's pitting on their soft. So as the race has transpired, I've just run my race, you know, things have just opened up and we're looking at a decent points finish here. But lap 27, so honestly nothing happened. Like Langfell was able to use that gap basically. It basically stuck the same basically. Went to 3 seconds, and the last few laps have been closing down. And now he's caught up or close to the battle going on in the front between Sleepy Superman, Jane, and Secret Digile. So Secret Digile has got wind damage, I believe, at this point, and he's on older tyres. So we're catching these guys on their older tyres because they will have started on softs, of course. Lap 28, so Digile has got a penalty, and yeah, my teammate actually had rapid pace, to be fair. If he wanted to overtake me, he could have. So, but he decided to stick behind, which I really appreciate. But again, here we go. We don't have to make this move again. Langfell's 2.4 seconds up the road. That was the difference, I think, possibly between, you know, myself finishing 4th and, you know, in that case. But anyways, we're going to try and go. Well, we're not going to try and go for it. We're just going to settle into this last corner. I thought I broke perfectly fine there, but I think Secret Digile just had no tires, and you just I know the feeling, like you can't brake, like you have to brake earlier. So I understand that. So it's not a big deal. It was the last lap anyways, but we're going to cross the line for P5, and I'll absolutely take that. I'll happily take that result at China. It was absolutely brilliant to come out of there with a P5 from P12, and my teammate from the back as well to get to P6. Excellent result for the team. So very happy with that. But yeah, I definitely thought I could have had Langfell possibly had things worked out a little bit differently for the
we would have been right there
for the
on the back of them too.
I guess for the words I'm trying to find are I would have had the undercut attempt, but only finished, was that 5 seconds off the lead in the end, off the win. So it was very close. We definitely were coming at them, but we just needed more laps basically for the tyres to really do anything. But yeah, happy to take P5. P4, yeah, it was in the offing, but it was good fun anyways following Langfell that first stint, and obviously just trying to just hammer in the lap times. I was looking at Secret Digile's lap times here. He was like in the 36s at the end of the race. We were in the 34s for a lot of it. So yeah, the pace difference obviously was there. So, and obviously he's doing damage as well. So yeah, happy enough to get out there with a P5. Here are the standings. So I think we're 21 points off the championship lead, but it's very close there. There's a nice little gap between myself and Jabu. So the top 5 really emerging themselves. Langfell trying to get in that conversation as well, but the top 5 really emerging there as the standings, as the championship takes form, basically. So yeah, happy with that. Happy to get out of China with a P5 there. So they can't complain at all about that. But that's gonna be it for this race. Next up is Canada. So yeah, that should be fun. Track limits galore, track penalties galore. Hoping I'm not going to be part of it, but yeah. Thanks for watching, and until next time.